Do you want a children's story? You do? Okay. No, you're all right. Sit right there. I do have a story. Okay, I want you to try this. I want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Okay? Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Okay? All right? Yeah, close your eyes. Okay? I'm going to have... okay. Just keep your eyes closed. All right? Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi again.
Hello. Hi.
Okay. Someone raise their hand. Tell me who that was. Anybody know who that was? Raise your hand. Do you know? Okay. Who was that? How did you know that? Okay, you can open your eyes now. One of the things is that how do we know, but we recognize people's voices, don't we? Why do we recognize people's voices? Huh? We become familiar with the sound of their voice, right? And that's how we start to recognize. How many of you have people who call you on the phone and you say, I know exactly who that is, right? You do that, right? And when that happens, then we recognize that, and sometimes the voice brings comfort, and sometimes it may not bring comfort. You get the voice, oh, it's Bethany again, oh no. But one of the things is that it's important to get familiar with people's voices. I know that when my kids call, and when I know exactly who it is who calls me, especially if my wife calls, I know her voice because we're familiar with those voices. When I was a kid, when I was little, I would hear my dad's voice and it would bring comfort, and especially when I was in bad straits, in trouble, I'd hear his voice and it would bring comfort to me and I knew I would be safe. The same thing goes with God. God, we have to become to a point where we are familiar with his voice, to listen for his voice. And you know, today, if you listen to what Nick has to say, it's important to know, how do we understand his or know his voice? There's so many voices. When I was at pastors' meetings last week, they did a little kind of a game that we did, and they put on the floor little round mats, and they put balls on them, and little things that were standing up, little vases or whatever. And then they blindfolded one person, and and on the other side they had one who wasn't, and the other one had to guide them just with their voice, guide them through that maze of obstacles that were in there without knocking anything or kicking a ball or any in that. But there was one caveat to the whole thing, and that is that everybody else in the room had to be talking as well. And it was very difficult, the one who was blindfolded, to pick out that voice of the person who's guiding them through that obstacles. The same thing with us. We have so many voices in our lives, but the only voice that we really need is the voice of God. And how do we recognize it? By spending time in his word each day in the quietness of that, because all through the day you're going to have all kinds of voices. And if you spend time in his word, you will recognize and practice his voice and hear it and be familiar. So that's my children's story this morning. All right? Listen for God's voice in your life.